10-Minute Murder contains depictions of violence that some listeners may find disturbing. Discretion is advised.
Hi, welcome to 10-Minute Murder, a podcast for people with stuff to do. I'm glad you're here. Before we get rolling too far today, let me say thanks to everyone that has supported the podcast with either shares or reviews on Apple Podcast. Those things help out a ton, so I really do appreciate that. If you haven't subscribed to the podcast, go ahead and do that, and you won't miss any episodes in the future. In today's episode, it's going to be different than we've done in the past because it's coming from a different angle, a different mental angle. There are many things that can motivate someone to take another person's life, but this one is different. So let's get going and you'll see what I'm talking about. April 23rd, 2018, in Toronto, a man used a rental van as a weapon, ramming into people who were just going about their day. The person behind the wheel, a self-described supreme gentleman named Alek Minassian. Alek is what you'd call an incel, and if you aren't familiar with the term, here it is, explained in Alek's own words.
It's basically a movement of angry incels, such as myself, who are unable to get laid. Therefore, we want to overthrow the Chads, which would force the Stacys to be forced to reproduce with the incels.
Right. Okay. When you say incels,
involuntary celibate.
Celibate. So that's just a short form for fellas who
can't get laid,
can't have sex. Right. Okay.
He also frequently uses the names Chad and Stacy. In the incel subculture, Stacy is a name given to a woman they consider shallow, stupid, or even just attractive and unattainable, except by Chads. And Chads are men perceived to be handsome, maybe muscular, but definitely popular, and likes the company of Stacys. And just for the record, women that are average looking, you have a name too. Apparently it's Becky. Alek was deeply involved in the online involuntary celibate community, using discussion boards with other like-minded misogynistic men to denigrate women. He said he was attracted to the blunt and honest conversational style of the online forums, and accused other incels of being too cowardly to act on their anger.
We discussed our frustrations at society and being unable to get laid, and we were plotting a certain timed strikes on society in order to confuse and shake the foundations, just to put all the normies in a state of panic.
And who would be a normie?
Normie means normal people. That would be anyone who is considered to be normal by the unfair standards of society.
But not the Chads or Stacys. Chads
and Stacys are actually above normies, or at least they think they're above normies.
Of course, yeah. Okay, all right.
So most of us are normies, I guess. And honestly, I don't think I have a problem being labeled a normie. But Alek gets more specific on his intended targets.
Who would the targets for this uprising be?
All of the alpha males.
All the alpha males. So the Chads.
Yes.
So those are the people that you want to kill?
Yes.
Okay, all right. And who else?
Any of the Stacys who do not wish to give their love and affection to the incels.
So they're a target as well?
Yes.
To be killed?
Yes.
Okay, and what about the normies? Normies.
Yes, we do. We don't necessarily wish to kill the Normandies, but we do wish to subjugate them in order to make them understand that that our type is the more superior one.
Right. So when you say subjugate, what do you mean by that?
Meaning either imprison them or put them in a lower position in society.
Okay.
So that they acknowledge the incels or the Pepe the Frog types as the more superior ones.
Let me stop right there, because I'm sure you're as confused as I am. He definitely just said Pepe the Frog types.
He's a mascot on 4chan.
He's a mascot?
Yes.
Oh, mascot on 4chan.
Yes.
And
I was using a metaphor.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so he's actually worshipped quite frequently.
Oh, okay. All right.
The Canadian police detective lets it go, like it's just a casual thing to say, but nothing about the acts of Alek Minassian that led to this were casual.
I'm thinking that this is it. I see all these people. It's time to go for it.
Time to go for it. And what do?
I floor the pedal.
Yeah.
I speed the van towards them, and I allow the van to collide with them.
Okay. And then what happens?
Some people get knocked out of the way. Some people roll over the top of the van.
Okay. And then what happens?
I continue doing that until, in fact, actually, to be honest, the only reason I stopped my attack was because someone's drink got splashed on my windshield, and I was worried that I would crash the van anyway, so I decided, okay, now I wanted to do more, but I've kind of been foiled by a lack of visibility. So then that's when I turned right, and I saw the cops approaching, so I decided to pull over and get out of my van.
Okay. You physically stop your vehicle?
Yes.
You physically stop. So you end the assault?
Yes.
Okay. And you end it because you can't see?
Yes.
And you knew the cops were coming?
Yes.
Okay. And so then what happens at that point?
I see a patrol car pull over, and I hear the cops screaming at me to get out, so I get out, and I point my wallet at the cop with the intent for it to be confused with a gun so that I could be fatally shot.
Okay. And was that something you were thinking about?
Yes.
I know. What I'm saying is,
even beforehand, I premeditated as an attempted suicide by cop.
You wanted to be killed by the police.
Yes.
Okay. Can I ask why you decided to equip yourself with a wallet and not something else?
I was worried. I was thinking about purchasing a toy gun,
right,
but I was kind of paranoid that for whatever reason, the rental company would ask to see my pockets or any bag if I chose to bring that. So I decided to go as stealthy as possible so no one suspects anything.
Okay, all right.
Obviously, he couldn't provoke the police to shoot him. He was handcuffed, taken to the police station, and interviewed, as you've been hearing. And finally, the detective asks him one last thing.
I'm going to ask you this, because it's important. 10 people died here today. 15 people were seriously injured. I think it's important to ask how you feel about that.
I feel like I accomplished my mission.
You feel like you accomplished your mission?
Yes.
Okay.
10 people doing nothing more than living their life were killed. Another 16 injured. And the reason given, no one would sleep with him. Alek Minassian is charged with 16 counts of attempted murder and 10 counts of first-degree murder. Because of COVID, the February trial was postponed until November of 2020. And that is today's 10-minute murder. And by the way, 8 minutes was the length of the rampage. That's how long it took from when Alek started hitting people in his rental van until the end. All right. Before you go, make sure you hit the subscribe button if you're not subscribed to 10 Minute Murder so that you don't miss any episodes in the future. On Facebook, you can join us there as well. Follow along, and if you have a suggestion on a murder you think we should cover, we'll definitely look into that. Just send us a message on Facebook. Just search 10 Minute Murder in the search bar and it'll pop right up, or you can click the link in this episode. If you have friends and they like creepy things like you do, you can share 10 Minute Murder with them also. Have a good night.